I finally understood the man versus bear. Like, would women choose a man, or would they choose a bear instead? That argument, right? The premise really feels like a sort of aspersion on manhood and men in general, but it's not. It's a very different thing. Most women are sexualized at a very young age when they're still in their formative ages. Because of that, they go through a lot of creepy shit, creepy behavior, which does not span all men. It spans about 20 to 30% of the male population, and it's the same guy traumatizing multiple women at the same time. And because of that, because women are in their formative ages, right, when they're little girls, their mind, and this would be equally valid for men's mind, it's just the human mind, the lizard brain, is unable to distinguish between evil, like absolute evil, and cruelty, right? And because it's unable to do that, because we haven't developed the, we haven't developed what would be called a theory of mind at that particular age to be able to distinguish between what is cruel and what is evil, anyone's brain, including mine, by the way, what it does is it classifies, it generalizes that sort of feeling you feel of being made the victim. So like being hunted by evil, literally, to all men. Basically, it symbolizes evil into all men, and that's why they say, "I choose a bear over a man," which wasn't. I don't think I was able to understand it before all that clearly, but now I'm able to get it because I went through something similar. When you're at a young age, so for example, I was bullied, right, and it's an easier story to convince yourself that everyone's evil and everyone means some kind of harm to you, when in reality, the bullies were just cruel, right? So instead of when you're a victim, when you're victimized, you feel a lot of emotions. One of them is vulnerability, right? And at that young age, vulnerability means a lot. Like, you can lose, you've got a lot to lose because you don't have the kind of intellectual brain power that would help you navigate the situation. So you then default to your limbic system. Now the limbic system doesn't run on rational logic, right? Let's say you were victimized. Your limbic system is going to equate that with a tiger attacking you, as the adage goes, right? Where, we've got emotional systems built for the Stone Age, where anxiety was basically to detect threat, like literally evil threat, like a tiger who's out to hunt you. But we don't live in that age, but our limbic system still responds that way. So to make sense of the feelings, oh God. So to make sense of the feelings that the limbic system makes you feel, you rationalize it in some way or the other. And again, this is not limited to just women. Everyone's going to do it. But the moment you're able to realize that cruelty exists, for sure, but cruelty does not necessarily mean that they're evil, is the point that we all start sort of having a better grasp on reality. Because, statistically, it's a very small percentage of men that victimize women. But at the end of the day, women, and like everyone else who has been a victim in their past lives, haven't been able to develop the intellectual and emotional tools necessary to distinguish between cruelty and evil. So they box the entire gender of men into that one box. They're all evil. And I think that's what a lot of feminism carries in its undertone as well. That, women have been victimized, and instead of recognizing that, okay, this was a reaction to to the limbic system doing its own thing. They classify all men as somehow being this evil, tyrannical corporation, like mega multinational corporation, that are subjecting women to oppression because they're evil. And some of them would be, but it's a very small percentage. And I'm repeating myself now, but yeah, I'm scared about, having a backlash to this, because this is the first time I've tried talking about women in a way that actually recognizes their humanity and men's humanity, and really gives you a sort of insight into what is actually going on underneath. Yeah, I'll see. If there's any, feel free to let me know what you think about in the comments, and I'd love to engage with you. Yeah.